payroll for CDBG, reimbursables, staff and commissioners, redevelopment operating fund. We have Alan Saranac, monthly retainer for November 2020. We have the Great American Financial copier fee, October 2020, plus the annual usage. In our North TIF fund, we had Arcadis for Seeing Sands Trail Oversight and Waste Inc. We had August Mack for Phase 1 ESA update for the station block. We had Dean Longus and Neff for station block acquisitions. We had City of Michigan City reimbursable wire for 2015 Wabash Street debt service. We had City of Michigan City reimbursable wire for 2011 Elston Grove lease payment. With City of Michigan City reimbursement wire for 2019 refunded Lafayette Barker. We had 320 Commerce Investments LLC for right-of-way acquisition for Singing Sands Trail Phase 2, Parcel 1 and 1A balance. Department of Waterworks Utilities at 1215 East 2nd Street. Hitchcock Design Group for the double-track streetscape design report. Neighborhood Capital for contract extension and transition services. NIPSCO for utilities at 1215 East 2nd Street. Plouffe, Shalley, Racher, and Braun for Trail Creek Properties expenses and advances. Plouffe, Shalley, Racher, and Braun for 1002 Franklin Street. Alan Saranac for legal services in the North TIF for November 2020. Stager Hardware for the third installment of purchase or partial purchase. For the third installment parcel purchase of 4601294015.0000022. And then we had valuation services for appraisals of vacant lot at 8th and Michigan. South TIF Fund. We have City of Michigan City reimbursement wire for 2018 Ohio Street bond lease payment. City of Michigan City reimbursement wire for 2011 refunded Cleveland Ave bond lease payment. City of Michigan City reimbursement wire for 2015 refunded 400 North bond debt service payment. City of Michigan City reimbursement wire for 2019 double track lease payment. Greenwood Consulting for feasibility study, business incubator, co-working space pay, number 2. For the Northeast TIF, we had U.S. Bank debt service payment. For the 2019 double track bond, we have U.S. Bank administration fees from 11/1/20 through 10/31/20. Yes, and that's it.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me still? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I lost everybody.
Yeah. All right. Any questions of Skylar on the claims?
Yeah, Skylar, one question. On the station block acquisitions for Beam, Longus, and Neff, is that a monthly charge or is that like quarter?
Hold on. Alan speaking. Alan deals with that.
They submit an invoice based on the work that they have done. And I think, if I remember correctly, from their invoice on this, it was for the appraisals on the station block properties, and then the review process on the appraisals for the broken down. The appraisals for the short form were $27,000. The reviewing process of those appraisals was $15,000, so that gets you to $40,000. No, that gets you to the $42,000, and then the other $439.84 is for administrative or project management review from the BLN actual staff member.
Okay.
But no, that's just give you another idea. I mean, just some of their other prior approvals. I mean, month before that was 15.4. Month before that was 57. So.
All right. Any other questions or comments on the claims? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second, do we approve the claims as presented? Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Financial report.
Okay, this is a MC Department of Redevelopment balance sheet for 10/31/2020. Let's see here, cash operating account. We have $97,497.09. The Southside TIF account, we have $5,597,449.77. For the Southside TIF debt reserve account, we have $336,175.45. For the Southside TIF capital account, we have $17,299.35. For the North End TIF account, we have $3,823,233.13. For Wabash Streetscape Construction, we have $122,118.59. Wabash Streetscape Debt Reserve, $215,908.67. Northeast TIF account, $393,762.47. Loans receivable, a loan to the East Side TIF from operating account, with $21,028.49. The County Business Loan Fund, we have $133,333. Total assets of $10,757,806.01.
Okay, any question, Skylar, for the financials? Someone like to make a motion to approve them?
I move we approve the financials for November.
I'll
Yes,
second
I'm
that.
sorry. For November, I'm sorry.
We had a second, John seconded.
Yeah, second that.
Okay,
Second.
motion and a second that we approve the financials as presented. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Facade grant.
I'll introduce this one and I'll hand it over to Lily. She's on, I see her. This is one that Ms. Spreitzer is on here as well. I see her as well. This is one that was approved, and then due to COVID, it kind of got held up a little bit, but I believe she has completed the work, and I'm going to hand it over to Lily to make this presentation and tell us a little bit about the project and how it's changed a little bit. Go ahead, Lily.
So Carol Spreitzer is applying for approval for disbursement of funds for 622 to 624 Franklin Street. She provided all the information that she's needed for the project for our records. She, at the September 9th, 2019 redevelopment meeting, was approved for a $2,000 facade grant with an investment estimate of $5,000. She was granted a 1-year extension to complete the project on June 8th of 2020, and that was extended until September 9th of 2021. We're requesting an increase in funding as the project required more work than what was originally anticipated. They had to go in and remove the brickwork, which was not originally part of that $2,000 that she had requested. So the total investment cost of this project totaled $14,283, which included tuck pointing, brickwork, replacement, carpentry, painting, and caulking. Updated facade investment request is the maximum 60%, which equals $8,569.80. Staff recommends approval of this request.
Yeah, and I can tell a little bit more about that. You may recall that there was some failure around the windows where the brick had released and come down, and once they started taking that out, the other brick, it actually was failing more than what was seen. So hence the upgrading in the request. And I basically said, let's include it and see what the pleasure of the commission is. It's still all would be covered underneath the facade grant. It's still a valid facade grant application. It's not something out of the ordinary. It was something that was approved through the Historic Review Board, and she did provide all the documentation.
Okay, any questions of Skylar?
My only question is, I'm not familiar with this, this building. Could you give us, what's the name of the business there?
It's where Bank of England is. Previously, it was a shoe store. It has some apartments above it, and actually, it's one of our more special buildings downtown, if you will, from the standpoint of historic preservation.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's just, and just maybe in the future we're able to we're not all able to go buy a space to look at it, but that would be helpful to know the name of the business that's we're impacting. So that's good stuff. Thank you.
Carolyn, I forget the other. Hold on, she's got her. Carolyn, do you want to speak? She's got her hand up.
Okay. The other tenants are Beach Bum Jewels, Social. I can't remember the name of her company. She's an event planner, and Art and Science Works, and Bank of England. And that building is very visible because it's the first building that you see as you're coming north on Franklin. It is next to the parking lot of the First Methodist Church.
Yeah.
And Carolyn, it's full. You have tenants upstairs as well, renters upstairs, apartments.
Yeah, Carol, I would just say this, that thank you for your commitment and your funds to do this project, and I support this. I wish more folks on Franklin Street and the neighboring areas would take advantage of this money and improve the facades and in Michigan City. So thank you for your commitment.
Well, thank you.
Lily, was there another piece of this, or is that it?
So that's all of it for the one that was continued from 2019, but there is a second one.
Okay.
Would you like
so
me?
We should break it apart. Yeah.
All right. Is the second one going to be presented at a future meeting?
Actually, it's ready to go tonight, I do believe, Lily, correct?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys were going to vote on that first and then you wanted me to do the second one, or did you just want me to do it now?
All right, well, let's vote on this one and then we'll do the second one, but I didn't receive anything on that. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the 622, 624 Franklin.
So moved.
Second.
There's motion second that we approve a facade grant for 622 and 624 Franklin Street. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right.
So, Lily, let me tell a little bit about the other one, and then I'll have you present it, okay? Okay? This next one is actually Carolyn as well. There's some work that needs to be done actually on the front of the front facade. I believe it's windows and some caulking and things just to button up this building, seal it up. And anyways, I'll leave it at that, and I'll let Lily present the rest of it. Take it, Lily.
So Carol Spreitzer is going to be improving the exterior facade of 622 to 624 Franklin. She's going to be doing this through removing and replacing windows, replacing trim, and caulking. The existing windows are experiencing seal failure and they need to be replaced. This building was built in 1915 and is rated as notable in the Franklin Street District and is identified as number 73 in the local report. Notable buildings provide significant value to the historic fabric of a designated historic district. It's kind of a big deal because it's just a step below the highest rating that you can get for a historic building. Proposed renovations are historically in keeping with original Spanish eclectic architectural style and will improve exterior appearance in addition to contributing to economic activity in the downtown historical Franklin Street district. Appropriateness for this project was issued on October 26th of 2020, so she already went through the historic review board and she was approved for that. Adaptive reuse of historical buildings help preserve the intent of the structure while allowing new non-invasive uses to be established, and it highly encourages means of preservation. The total investment cost for this is $4,319. Estimated amount to be paid by owner is $1,727.60. She is requesting approximately % of the total cost of this project through the Redevelopment Commission, and that number is $2,591.40. So we're going to move on to staff recommendation. Applicant has submitted all required documentation. She's received her COA again. That was granted on October 26th. Proposed work is historically in keeping with the original architecture. It's going to improve the exterior appearance and contribute to the economic activity in the downtown, and staff recommends approval as requested for funding.
So each building is eligible for up to $30,000. That's where we max out at. She's below that $30,000. She could come back if she would like to at a later date and apply again up to that number. That's how we've treated the buildings in the past. So basically just some new windows and things of that nature. Carolyn, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
So it's the front windows on Franklin Street. They're clouded over. There's failure with the whatever chemicals between the two pieces of glass.
Is it right above the door then?
Well, the transoms are above the big front windows. And then one of the big front windows was already repaired.
Oh.
So this is the same building as this is the exact same building,
Yeah,
just for
that's the
everyone.
building. But this is the front side of the building that faces Franklin.
Correct.
Okay, anything else, Carol? No?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Someone like to make a motion on this grant?
I'll make a motion to approve the grant for $2,591.40.
Second.
Motion a second that we approve a facade grant in the amount of $2,591.40 for 622, 624 Franklin Street. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Carol.
Thank you for investing in the downtown and in your building.
Well, I don't want my building to be derelict. I want Michigan City to look its best so that people that come to visit, can see how invested we are in our own communities.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Carolyn.
Good evening.
Okay, next item is Singing Sales Tran Phase 2 change orders.
Yes, so before us tonight, we have, I'm going to read them. We have 7 change orders that were approved during this project. Keep in mind that NDOT paid 80% of this. This was an 80-20 split. I'm actually going to read the change orders. I do believe we've already approved number 4, but it was added in here as well. And number 4, you might recall, the change order was for the curbing out in front of City Hall, where we replaced about maybe a couple hundred feet of curbing. And you might recall that coming before the commission. I believe it was maybe this summer still.
Yeah,
when they were pouring concrete. So number one is temporary fencing at Waste Inc. When we went in to build the trail around Waste Inc., we had to put up temporary fencing until the permanent fencing was installed, mainly to keep people, because once we opened up that space to get the trail through, it was mainly to keep people off the cap who might wander into it. So the temporary fencing had to go up until we got the permanent fencing up. That was kind of unforeseen from the standpoint of dealing with Waste Inc. and at their recommendation. There were street lights added onto Michigan Boulevard. We had to get, I think, some new lighting, new lights put up there for to make it work out for the distances and the distances between lights and things of that nature. Structural excavation for helical piles. Number 4 was the concrete curb removal and replacement at City Hall. Number 5 was an additional drainage work at Commerce Square, which is Commerce Square's next door to us, where we bought some of their right of way. We affected some of the drainage there, and it had to be fixed. Number 6 was a change from slag to limestone along the trail, and number 7 was material for boardwalk bracing revisions. And I think that was due to just unforeseen structural analysis of the soil, essentially. The total cost of these are the NDOT's paying 80%. Keep that in mind, that we pay 20%, so 80-20 split. Our cost is $16,037.01. NDOT's picking up $80,185.07 of these change orders. So we're essentially, I think they're all warranted change orders to make our trail complete.
Okay, Skylar, I agree. We approved the curbing in front of the City Hall already. So
yep.
The amount
it's just in their list. I just went ahead and read their list.
Okay.
But I know I'm pretty positive I've already signed off on that one.
Okay. So the amount that you stated is what we're dealing with?
I think yes.
Okay. All right. Someone like to make a motion?
I move we approve the Singing Sands Trail Phase 2 change orders.
I'll second.
All right, there's a motion and a second that we approve the Singing Sand Trail change orders as Skylar presented. Any additional discussion?
Yeah, I have another question. So what is the amount, Skylar, that we're approving? Is it the 16,037? Well,
yes, $16,037.01.
Okay, I just want to make sure we hadn't approved that concrete curb removal before.
I will check and we did approve it,
Yeah,
and I
we
will
did.
check and make sure of that before we pay the invoice, for sure.
Yeah.
That we haven't paid it twice.
Okay,
Yeah, that's not included in this, is it?
right now it is, but
It is right now, but I will check to make sure that we haven't paid it twice. I don't think we have paid it yet,
okay.
Okay. All right.
because I don't think they've invoiced us for it. That's the thing, they invoice us.
Okay.
I will say before, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll speak up afterwards.
All right, there's a motion and a second that we approve the change orders as presented. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'll make the commission aware that there probably will be another, I think 2 change orders coming through. I would like to go ahead and let you guys know what they're for tonight, because they will probably be coming through at our next meeting in January. There was an unforeseen, we have a piece of the trail, it's approximately 60 feet. And we thought it was understood that it was a piece of dirt, or a dirt pile, and actually it ended up being a train car underneath it, and we have to remove the train car. So we've had to have environmental testing done on it. Again, NDOT will be picking up 80%, but we'll be picking up the 20% extra. It was we have to put helical pilings there, and we couldn't, that's how it was discovered. So we have to remove it. We have to remove the cart and all of its contents, and we have to put dirt back in there so that we can put the pilings in, and then we have to reconstruct some of the hill to basically protect Trail Creek as well. We do know that that the contents are not environmentally sensitive, so we do not have to dispose of them at a special location or anything like that. So that's why we had to do the testing on it. So all that will be coming through, and I don't have those change orders yet, and we don't know the final cost of all those. That's all being done right now. But once that's completed, that final 60 feet of trail will be the connection and basically complete this phase of the trail, just so everyone knows.
Okay, thank you, Skylar. Do you want to go over the Friendship Gardens gate now, or?
It's not on our agenda. I mean, I can it's a pleasure if you want me to. You're the president.
I thought you needed to show them.
I was going to do it. I was going to do it in director's report, but I can do it right now if you would like for me to.
Sure, why don't, since we're on that subject.
Okay. So there's another phase of Singing Sands Trail that's about to be released for bid in the next probably 2 or 3 months. It'll go out to bid. We're working very hard to get all the pieces together. We have to get in the environmental through NDOT, which is being done probably, as we're working through all these other pieces. It's approximately about $811,000, and if we do not use it, it'll go back to the state. So we want to use it and build this other section of trail, which will take the trail from basically Friendship Gardens to I forget the name of the park out on Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King. I can't remember the name of the park out there, but it'll take it to that, almost to Carwick. So it's another important section of the trail to make the connection that will finally connect all the way to the state line. So this being said, a part of that trail goes through, majority of this trail, this section goes through Friendship Gardens on their property, which they have said that they want the trail there. We've negotiated the right of way. But as part of this trail, they were getting a new gate as part of this trail, and the gate would be installed in our right of way. So basically what we're thinking, what we've been told is we should pull the gate out of this project, fund it through the Redevelopment Commission. That way it's not in the right of way, and that way it's not let's say a future liability for the trail and the city. Basically it would belong to us if it was in the right of way, the way that it's structured. So anyways, we have talked with them and come up with what we think that is a reasonable price for that. And what I'm asking for from the commission tonight is a not to exceed number of $30,000 for a new entryway gate for Friendship Gardens. This also moves the gate about 15 to 20 feet away from the trail. And like I said, it puts it on their property. It will be under their ownership and their jurisdiction from here on out through the life of this gate. The other thing that the NDOT bidding process does is it doesn't allow, you're restricted on what kinds of gates you can use through the NDOT bid process. So that was another issue of getting the right gate that looks right and appropriate for the garden's entrance. And the right, stonework around the gate, etc. So tonight for the commission, I would ask for a not to exceed number or not to exceed price of $30,000. Sorry for the short notice, but we just had our last negotiation with the right of way on Friday of last week. And I'll entertain any questions and things of that nature.
All right, any questions? This is Skylar.
I might add that the gardens are not charging the city for any of the right of way. They want the trail through there, so they're donating well, I wouldn't say donating. They are allowing an easement for the trail to be located on their property.
Right. All right, someone like to make a motion on this?
I would approve that we have a not to exceed number of $30,000 for gates at Friendship Gardens for the Singing Sands Trail.
I'll second that.
There's a motion, a second, that we approve up to $30,000 for the gate in front of Friendship Gardens. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. August Mac, change orders.
I thought I had this under control until I got an email from August Mac this morning, and I don't have it under control. I need to get with Debbie again. I need to get with August Mac again, because there's some things in there that is this the right? Did you send this to the right person? So I will get with them. I'll get this finalized before our next meeting.
Okay. All right, Trail Creek Bridge.
So there's another change order in, and this involves the Trail Creek Bridge, which we've done a couple of change orders for this. I have talked with John a little bit about this today. He had some questions, and I think he brings up some valid points. I had not seen the design, but when NIPSCO hooked up the lights, there was an extra piece of correct me if I'm wrong, John, wiring that was not part of the original design. It was about, they originally accounted for about 5,000 feet and some change, but there was about a 400 foot, let me get out the, hold on, let me get my information here. It was about 404 feet of overrun for the wire. And from the original planned quantity, which was 5189. And then John's kind of looking at the design of this, and we think it's more of a design issue rather than a overrun, if you will. So I think we want to kick it back to the builders or the engineer and say, hey, why was this not considered as part of the design? Why was this not taken into consideration with the design rather than just, we want to ask some more questions about it.
Right. Yeah, it
John,
seems like
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it seems like they had they're saying 281 lineal feet of overrun because they had to wire two existing lights into the same circuit. And you'd think you would do some of the upfront work on that and know you'd had to do that and put that in the quantities required on the drawing. So it seems like it's a design issue on the amount of material that you need for the job.
Yeah.
And then the other
The
was the 5 foot overage per light pole. They had 39 light poles. Now that one I can almost see, you can make an error on that, not knowing how much overage you're going to want to wind up and leave in the pole for future. So I can almost see splitting this request up. One being a design issue and the other being it's a gray area.
Yeah. So I'm at least going to kick it back to so the total change orders for $3,600 or $3,643.20. I'm at least going to kick it back and ask some questions regarding, the design issue. Why did they not take into consideration these two poles? They were there, and at least get an answer back for us. And so I don't feel like it's a pressing issue. But hopefully I would be able to bring it back or bring something back to you guys next month, one way or the other.
Okay. All right. Thank you. The extension for the interfund loan from Southside TIF to the Northeast TIF.
When we approved Resolution 2-20, I think it was last June, or thereabouts. Basically, you may remember this was for the, the Cheney Run project, and Michael Cuss had made a presentation, and they need additional money for the completion of that project, as well as to use as a match. That is in the Northeast TIF, where we have a current bond, the GAF bond, which would be paid in full. And we knew this when we passed the bond, would be paid in full once we received disbursement through December 31st of this year, and paid in January. And then because that would pay that bond or retire that bond in its completion, or as an entirety, we would then be able to collect everything for the all the TIF that was generated for the Northeast TIF from January through June, that we would have enough money to completely pay for the request that was being made for completion of the Cheney Run project. So we knew when we passed this resolution that we were going to have to extend the deadline until June 30th of 2021. But be that as it may, Indiana Code 36-1-8-4B, first subsection A requires that any loan from one TIF to another must be paid within the fiscal year. But subsection B allows it to be extended by an additional 6 months upon the finding of an emergency. So the motion or the housekeeping chore that you need to do tonight is to make a finding of an emergency that was known at the time of the resolution being passed, to extend repayment from the Northeast TIF to the South TIF, the full amount that was borrowed, which I believe was $330,000 last spring by way of Resolution 220.
All right. Someone like to move that? Someone like to say so moved?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All right, there's a motion and a second that we deal with the interfund loan as presented by our attorney. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on. Why don't we deal with the You Are Beautiful site?
Okay, and I'm going to do that with the same thing as I have in my report. As you may recall from last month, we approved the MOU for proposed development on the You Are Beautiful site. And basically the nuts and bolts of that was just agreeing with a developer that if we were to enter into any formal agreement with them, that basically it would require that they would have a right of exclusivity to this property for a period of time of no more than 400 days, and that was on the worst case scenario. That was approved. The next step of that was that we would receive a purchase agreement, which we did. And now the process, so that just to report that we did receive that, and we were in the process of negotiation with that. Not ready to approve that tonight, but we should be able to be in some kind of position to approve that hopefully by sometime during the month of January.
Okay, thanks. Any questions, Alan, on that? All right. Legal counsel report.
First, noting that there was an executive session held before this meeting and also the special meeting on November 30th, I believe it was. No decisions were made. Nothing was discussed in either of those meetings that would be contrary to the open door law. And as I said, no decisions were made. The second thing is to update you with regards to the station block. First thing, Councilperson Deutsch, I just want to let you know if you could take back to your fellow council member, Mr. Prespolinski, that I took his words to heart with regards to the notification of the tattoo parlors. I think I said that there's been no communication between BLN and them. So rather than do anything directly on that, I sent Mr. Tunstall a letter by certified mail last week. He signed for it on Friday, so he does have now notice. And furthermore, had a conversation with him today, a very nice conversation. And he had questions with regards to how the relocation aspect of that work. So I have referred him to BLN, and that's where we are with that particular parcel. I finally received on Friday condemnation reports for parcels 4 and 5. Those are the parcels at the corner of Pine and 10th Street. I've not had a chance to look those over yet, so I'm not sure where we are, whether in terms of we have differences or not. I have had communication with Mike Connor with respect to some of the properties, the 2 parcels that he has. And we've had some discussions as to where we, in terms of trying to reach some kind of resolution on the acquisition costs on that. That parcel, his parcel on 11th Street is a little bit more complicated because there are tenants involved with that and there are relocation costs that are associated with that as well. But basically, I think we're at a point with that of where we just need a resolution by the end of the week. And if we haven't, then probably we'll proceed with eminent domain on those parcels. Similarly, with the 1002 Franklin Street parcel, as well as, and conclude with that is in the billboard that's also on Mr. Connor's property. And then finally, there have been a series of voice messages that I have had with the property owner of the 1002 Franklin. We've not talked directly face-to-face or not directly on the phone, but we have had multiple voice messages where I've told him while I'm calling, he's called back. We'll try again tomorrow, but again, I would put the same time frame on that as by the end of the week. If we still don't have any kind of common area of discussion, we'll probably move ahead with that one as well. So one way or the other, we will either have, and I will send you notices for if we have agreements on purchase price. I will send you notice for that, and we'll start getting the paperwork done with BLN on that for formal approval at the January meeting. If all looks lost and we're hopeless on any kind of an agreement, then we'll proceed with eminent domain sometime this week.
All right, is that it?
That's it on the station block, and that's all I really have to.
Okay. All right, director's report, Skylar?
Let's see. Friendship Gardens is done. We did receive our community crossings grant. We were notified of that last week. So we will be proceeding with our projects that we submitted through the Redevelopment Commission. You might recall we matched up to, I think we put in $600,000. We received preliminary approval for all that we submitted for. Now we'll go for bids. We'll bid them out. Those were all engineering bids and see make sure that we can do all the projects that we submitted. This will bring, honestly, just about all of the roads within let's say a large majority of the roads within our TIFs. This will bring them all up to a PACER rating of above 5, but probably more in the range of 7s and 8s is where we want to be, rather than 1s and 2s. Those are really bad. So this is a much needed project, and this is a good investment in our streets and infrastructure in Michigan City.
Yeah, I'd like to remind everyone that this was a 1-for-1 match from the state, so we really leveraged our resources.
And we have our city engineer, I might add, with leveraging. Our city engineer was able to put these projects together on his, he put them together. So we saved quite a bit of money on having him being able to do that for us.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. No, I do not. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Public comment? Any comment from the public?
Let me minimize all this. If the public can hear me, raise your hand or just comment. I say we just leave it open for a couple minutes and see if anybody. I don't see anybody with their hand raised at this point in time. Any public comment?
Okay, hearing none. We'll move on to commissioners' comments. I'd just like to say thanks to Pat Kowalski and John Sheets for their service on this commission the last couple of years. Neither one stood for renomination, but we appreciate your efforts. And
Thank you.
next meeting date will be January 11th in 2021.
Right. I'll set up the Zoom meeting. We'll still be on Zoom, just reminding everybody until further notification. I'll set up all the Zoom meeting and make sure everyone gets it out and to our new appointees as well.
Okay. Someone like to move to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Motion is second that we adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Have a good one, guys.